So great to see you all. Thanks for coming by. My name is Sheehan. I do consulting this session. And there's a few things about me. I like to tell people I have four jobs. So my full-time job is that I'm a professor at the University of Maryland. And go Terps, exactly. I've got a neighbor here who's lives in the Maryland area. So that's my full-time job. I'm a professor at the Robert Smith School of Business at the University of Maryland. In addition to that, though, I'm also an affiliate professor for what we call our Dugan Institute. It is like our Center of Philanthropy. So I teach for them as well. Then I do some consulting. This is an example. I teach a lot of leadership development, do a lot of strategic planning. And then my volunteer job is the last one. I'm the volunteer blog editor for Insights with Impact. I encourage you to check it out. There's a weekly blog. Basically, it's like how do you better week? And there are brief ideas every week just to give you an insight about how you can make your own impact as a leader. So check that out. My background includes 18 years as the CEO of two different nonprofit organizations. Academically, I got my PhD from Ohio State, and I have been studying leadership literally since I was in college. I was always really intrigued by how people can be more effective leaders, why to be a more effective leader, so again, I've written a book on strategic planning for nonprofits. It's got a lot of leadership stories in it. And since we're talking about leadership, and those of you who attended the class yesterday, welcome back. These are some of my leadership beliefs that are important to point out. That I think that higher quality leadership in organizations make it more effective. Now, I'm not the only one that thinks this, but leadership really makes a big difference in how effective an organization is. It's really important, I believe, that many people within an organization agree to provide leadership. Right? Just not the bosses. Everybody can provide leadership. And I believe quality leadership can be better. When I say quality leadership, I mean leadership that is ethical, inclusive, vision and mission focused, and most importantly, leadership that contributes to creating a more just, equitable, and thriving society. And when I think about church and nation, I think about the impact we all make. It's like we should those kinds of leaders. That's just some background. Now, again, those of you who attended the class yesterday, if you want slides from this class, just give me your email address. If you were in class yesterday and you already signed this, then you're good to go. I'll send both sets of slides. So we'll just all I do is your email address. So if you want to see the slides, just go ahead and write those down. So, ready to go? So we can start? All right. So, here's the key right here. Like, here's the most important slide probably of the whole day. Transformational leaders, what they do is they dream. They dream. And in your case, dream about, what your community would look like if you could have it any way you want. You see, what a lot of people do is they kind of start in the present world, right? And they're like, okay, well, here I am. What is it, June 7th, 2025. Okay, well, how can we do better? How can we do better from where we are? And that is a fine thing to do. What I'm suggesting is you do something completely opposite if you want a transformation. And instead of sitting in the present day and kind of moving forward from that, you see that in the future. The idea, the dream. You say, you know what? Forget about how things are. I'm going to dream. What would I do? What would I do? With no resources, what would it look like to be like? So, dreaming a vision of the future. This whole idea of dreaming is something that a lot of people talk about all the time. And they say, you dream a vision. George Bernard Shaw once said, some people see things as they are and say, why I dream of things, and never learn and say why not. Dr. King, his I Have a Dream speech, that's what that was all about. It was a dream. Wow, think about it. We made a lot of progress since 1963 when we made that speech. Wow, we still have a long way to go. We had a dream of what our nation would look like. A nation where people would get along together as brothers and sisters. Supreme Court sodomite. They were saying, look, we dream these dreams, and they'd be like inspiring us. That's the whole idea, is to, don't think about whether it's going to come true or not. Just think about, the aspiration dreams. Paul, the possibility of having a dream come true is what makes life interesting. It's like, let's go for it. Let's try this new thing. So, with this in mind, I want you to think about your community. And I want you to take a couple of minutes and dream. We don't really often take time to do that. I just want to give you the privilege of taking a minute or two on your own, quiet time, you get out, make some notes. What would your community look like really? If you had no resource constraints whatsoever, if you could really have it any way you wanted it, what would your community look like and be like? Just take a minute and dream. So when you dream like this, we're calling this your vision for your community. So again, just take another minute or so and dream your dreams. Just take another moment to dream. And now take a few minutes and share your dreams with somebody sitting near. Just find somebody, partner up with somebody sitting near you, and share your dreams with somebody sitting close to you. You can try to, move up. Share your dreams.
Is it the community as a whole, or is it like your community, your organization? is involved in?
Whichever you want.
Okay, I didn't answer that.
It works either way.
What did you say? Yeah, well, now, let me, so, so like some more knowledge, but so far, some more provides the leadership. And so, I like it. Yes. More resources. More education. Yes. System. Some of the leaders, they have money to fly people, where they will put all the works. They have organization. Reservation line. Well, I wasn't necessarily talking about just reservation.
Let's just take 2 more minutes, then we'll move along.
Just the people that's kind of an initiative place. Yeah.
let's move along. So I think some of those are great conversations going on here. I'm going to give you more chances to talk. So look, this is the seed. This is the beginning, right? This is the beginning of transformation. Here's what they do. They look inside of us. It's like, and all that like this community, like whatever you want to find, all this community like that deal. And then you mobilize toward that. That's what transformation is about. How do you do that with the characteristics? That's what we're going to see how you do it. Now, again, some of you had a chance to come to class yesterday when I talked about two important aspects of leadership, which are task-oriented leadership and relations-oriented leadership. Two other aspects of leadership that are really important are transactional leadership and transformation leadership. Now, we're going to focus on transformational leadership today, but we're going to compare that a little bit with transactional. All four of these are important, right? But they're useful in different ways for different reasons. So we're going to compare and contrast with transactional and transformational leadership. Transactional leaders, this is very typical. It's like when you're hired for a job. It's like, well, I'd like to hire you to, do this work and I'll pay this for you. It's a transaction, it's a deal. So yeah, you're going to do that. Transformational leadership is more based on aspiration, in vision, inspiration. How do you care about it? Now, I was in the newspaper this morning, I felt on that anything. The one page of the Wall Street Journal this morning had a picture of a 102-year-old Army veteran, and he was visiting Normandy, France. Does anybody have any guess why he was on the front page of the Wall Street Journal there? Exactly. And yesterday, of course, it was the D-Day anniversary. So he was visiting. Wow. Now, why did all those young men who were going to do that day? Somebody paid them a lot of money to do it. Was it a transactional deal? That was not a transactional deal, right? That was like vision. We all believe in the future's like not fascist. We want a free world. So that's a pretty dramatic example, but it shows you difference, right? It's like, I'm going to do some pieces that I care about. Now, maybe you have a job you get paid any year, right? You can have both a transaction and a transformation. But if you're willing to go the extra mile, you're willing to dream big, then transformational leadership is a thing that you need. James McGregor Burns is the guy who invented the term transformational leadership. And my first job at the University of Maryland, I was the Director of Executive Education for the James McGregor Burns Academy of Leadership. And so I learned a lot about what Burns thought about transformational leaders. And this is one of the interesting things that I learned from him. He said, one of the special things that transformational leaders do is they dream these big dreams, right? And they share them with others in the community. But then they do a very unique thing. They invite others to share their ideas, and they listen in a very special way. They listen to understand the other person's ideas versus listening to respond. Now, somebody who's listening to respond has that all figured out, the right answers. They might share their vision for the future with you. They might ask you what you think. But if they're asking you what you think, so they can explain why they're wrong. And what their idea is better. Transformation is wrong. You dream. That's my idea. What are your ideas? And then they put those ideas together, and that's what transforms communities and organizations. Is if you can really invite other people and then include their ideas with yours, make them more enriched and transformed. That's what transformation is. Now, there are 4 key characteristics of transformational leaders. And as you think about applying that kind of leadership to your community, let's keep these things in mind as we go through. First is charisma. When we talk about charisma, some people say, oh, you see your habit, you don't, but really you can develop your own charisma. When you talk to people about your vision for the future, make sure you talk about values, principles, and ethics. Role model, leadership, confidence. And you can have a profound impact on other people's values and beliefs. Create a sense of pride, energy, mission for the future. Now, when you think about charisma, who are some Cherokee leaders you think of who have charisma? Who's some examples? Pardon? Roland Mandela. Austin Jr.
Joe Brittany.
Is that?
It's Joe Brittany.
There you go. We had a speaker the other day, right? Probably so. Everybody hear that? Look forward to checking this out. So, a lot of examples of charismatic leaders. Again, I've never met one with Manco, but you've heard a lot about over the years. Some great women Manco close. People give every morning and stand so people larger themselves. That's what transformation is. Bigger than they are. Cherokee people possess an extraordinary ability to face down adversity, continue moving forward. We never give up. So tap into your personal charisma. Charisma is different than any person. I didn't know all these names you're mentioning, but I bet each one of you have a different kind of charisma in your own special way. One thing that's really important about charisma is when you talk to people about your vision for the future, talk about values. So, what are some of the most important values in the church? When you think about the most important values of the church, what are some things that come to your mind? Art? Community. Sacrifice. Resilience. Strength. I wrote this slide before I came here, but when I got here, I noticed that the program is whole page now. What did you say? Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Logging up on work, whatever. Being a woman or spiritual parent, so again, keep your Cherokee Nation values in mind when you're talking about your values for the future. And the next characteristic is inspiration. Now, again, I've been teaching leadership for a long time, studying leadership for a long time. People ask me all the time, Rob, I want to be a more inspirational leader. What do I do? You want to know the secret? You want to be a more inspirational leader, the first thing you do is be inspired. You're inspired by something. You share it in your heart. It's seeking you. I'm not exactly the same. Now, then, face what do I care? And tap into your own special way of being passionate. Pardon?
I'm always doing things that make me so passionate.
Well, good. I'm teaching you encouragement.
I'm so passionate.
And optimistic. It's like, look, we can do this. Empower them to go the extra mile, to take risks. I'm going to fly home myself last tomorrow. Herb Keller, our founder, you create a feeling and an attitude. People identify with that kind of. The next characteristic, intellectual stimulation. This is a fancy way of saying, there's that saying, think outside the box. So, you begin with this dream, right? Saying on the future, like, let's do what our community could be like. And people say, oh, but, we don't know how to do that. So it's okay. But think outside the box. People ways of doing things we've never thought before. Let's try new things. Let's be interesting. What do you think? We both have new things. A new way of looking at the world, new perspectives, innovation, a breakthrough. Like, let's try new things. Individual consideration. It's really important that transformational leaders get to know the individuals that you're working with. And you've got to figure out what interests them, what inspires you, when you think about our community in an ideal way, what is most interesting to you? Pay personal attention to it. Understand their unique interests and needs and capabilities. Coach them, mentor them. Help them feel valued by valuing them. Include their ideas in this big vision for the future. Now, these are all great characteristics of transformational leaders. But we know that having this big vision, it's a nice idea, but it doesn't go anywhere unless you have goals. You won't know. So, what we're going to talk about next is how to take this dream you've got here, right? This big dream of the future, and say, okay, what are some specific goals that we need to do in the next, whatever time period you want? They're going to help us get toward that future. So we keep the future in mind. Now, in the shorter term, we're going to create some goals to make that. And my question for you, and by the way, I know you all know how important goals are. You've been very successful. So you know the goals are that persistence, intensity of effort, really gives us a focus and direction. I showed this yesterday, we talked about SMART goals. Specific, measurable. Again, most people teach attainable, relevant, time bound. How about a different way to think about this? Instead of that definition of SMART, how do you feel about this one? Instead of attainable goals, how about setting some goals that are almost impossible? Setting some goals that are almost impossible. Why would I suggest such a thing? Well, one of my favorite sayings is that great leaders have disregard for things. Because we can all think of things. One said, that's impossible, that can never happen. And yet, it did. And don't look like the next one, oh, of course, no. So my question for you is this. Think of one big goal for your community. What one big goal would you set for your community if you knew it was impossible? You set the goal, you're going to accomplish. So just think for a minute on your own. I'll give you a chance to share others next to you. Take some quiet time on your own first. What one big goal would you set for the community if you knew it was impossible? What do you care about so much? What one big goal would you set? Just take a minute on your own and give you a chance to share with others. I think you're going to sign up for the smiles. Would you like to get the smiles? One big goal. Just think on your own. What one big goal would you set if you knew you could not fail? And go ahead and share your big goal with people you're sitting with. One big goal, if you knew it was impossible to fail, what would it be? All right, who's willing to share some of your big goals? Like if you knew it was impossible to fail, what are some of the goals that you'd set? Who's willing to give us some examples? There's a lot of conversation.
Charity, I would love for my maybe that hour of charity. So,
Everybody speaks Cherokee during your meetings. Awesome.
all of our
Very cool.
it is impossible.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Other ideas? You guys are chit-chatting away. What are some of your goals?
We're kind of a different animal. She says we're a unicorn. We don't do community.
Well, she does not. That's what we about California.
Oh, we don't do like food banks or backpacks or fairs or things like that. We restore cemeteries.
Okay.
And so our goal is we're going to complete 30 cemeteries.
Wow, see, now that would be it.
That would be your big goal?
I think about because we've already got some of them started.
Very good. Anybody else want to share?
Okay, I'll have one here. I would like to have a big gala event where we raise $50,000 in profits.
Fabulous. Fabulous. We will,
That's a big goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. Okay, you get the idea. Let's talk about this a little bit more. And again, I told you one of my favorite sayings is that when you guys had to help this possible. Let's talk about this a little bit more. People want some space travel to that happen. Right? Now we're talking about some people on Mars. Who knows this? Right? People want to talk about the TV when they're financially, commercially possible. People want to talk about the factories that the voice over wires. Or the machine with a green out the force. This is my favorite. We want to buy the real travel ice cream will not be possible because passengers may agree with asphyxia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's just a small train. Anything else for
I got a little story for you. I've been really fortunate in my career to talk really all over the world. Once upon a time, we had an executive MBA program in China. And I had a chance to go to Shanghai to teach over there. And on my way back, we had flying along the road, went back to the airport, and I wrote this whoosh. I said, Magnetic levitation training, one shot, long 286 miles an hour. As smooth as could be, and guess what?
You did great.
I did not die as expensive. Now, why do I tell you that silly story? Because you know those things were done? Well, they're invented by humans, exactly. And they were invented in Japan. And here's what happened. The corporate training executives came to the engineers. They said, you know what? Right now, it takes about 6.5 hours for the train to go from Osaka to Tokyo. We'd like you to post a train will do it in 3 hours. Not 6 hours and 50 minutes. I need 6 hours. Not just, can you make it a little bit faster? No. 3 hours. And what do those engineers have to do? Reinvent the wheel exactly. They call it bullet train thinking. They had to just put aside everything they knew about the way trains work then and said, well, geez, we obviously need a new way to do train travel. And they invented this idea called magnetic levitation where the train literally sits on top. Well, that's awesome. So this is what we're encouraging. This is when we talk about intellectual stimulation. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to say, hey, maybe nobody's ever raised $50,000 for a fundraiser for that person. Maybe nobody's ever restored that many cemeteries. But you know what? If we think about it and try to do things differently, maybe we can. It takes a growth mindset. This great book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Dreaming of things done in a different way than we've ever thought before. Dream about an adventure. I was either a very adventure or nothing. And let's look at place small. You care about something, go for it. So with this all in mind, I'm going to ask you to push it a little bit more. Think about your community, your big vision for your community, or your life any way you want it. Now I'm going to ask you to think about 3 goals for the next year. So think about a couple more. What are a total of 3 goals that would really, again, think about this vision you have for the community in the future. What are 3 goals that you set them to accomplish them that really take you forward? Just take a couple minutes and write down 3 goals. 3 goals would take you forward. Three goals. Just take a minute. What would those 3 goals be? There are lots of things in your community that you would dream about, but what are 3 goals, if you set them, would really, really move you forward? And go ahead and share your goals with somebody sitting next to you. What are some of those big goals you've got? Encourage each other to dream big.
No, you're fine. We're trying to, that's not. You started to say something about you. you know, it's like this unbelievable amount of proposals. It's hard to get it's pretty smooth. Yeah, it's really hard. That was easy. It was easy. Yeah. Some of them just
Oh, that's true. It's terrible.
There's a lot of things.
Once again, you're having such great conversations. I hate to interrupt, but I'm curious. What are some of your what are some additional goals you're thinking of? Who's willing to share? Yeah, go for it.
Increasing our membership, which is a big hit.
Okay.
Some of our members and retire.
Yeah.
So this is increasing.
Okay, so big increases in membership. Yeah. Okay, those are good ones.
And we have the tools now, available to do that. We're reestablishing just a regular.
Okay. So it's a big
We're
deal.
looking more toward this. See what's possible.
Well, and again, those are totally great goals to have, and you just kind of get yourself moving forward. But every now and then, try to think of some really big things and maybe give some new ideas. Things you never. How about y'all?
Well, I was trying to think that's what participation is there a future evaluation that whether it's language, community art, participation, problems, work or something, a token for their participation or something.
Yeah. So you got to go way around that.
Yeah, I know. That's
Okay.
what we're talking
All right. So, how about y'all? Anybody over here want to share?
We've been talking about updating some of our documents, necessary paperwork that we need to have completed. Updating more documents to do Microsoft Word. What do you call it? Online pre-fill or something.
Oh, yeah.
That they do themselves. And so that's good on the paperwork going on. She was saying, hit the link on our Facebook page and say, fill this out and send it to us, and we'll get back with it. That was pretty good.
Good one.
That's pretty good.
Anybody else?
Similar. So I represent the Capital City here in DC, Maryland, Virginia. One of our big difficulties in together is that it's a big area, as you know, and we see Maryland, DC people, I think, that are accessible. You know, I didn't know the art for years when I was in DC. Well, you know, one of the goals is to like have a more stable schedule of like here's one major video, here's nothing around. See, and to your point, also like youth engagement. I think for the benefit of this problem, a lot of the organizations is that the events that are held, meetings that are held, seem to be like presentation focused, and it's like you go, someone tells us something, maybe we eat, and then we leave. So in DC, it's a huge thing. It's just have happy hours.
Yeah.
67, 78. And a lot of, like, that's how I met a lot of people networking when I first moved there for different organizations. It's like a nice informal thing.
Yeah.
All you can do is show up. You don't have to rent space. You can just say, hey, we need this simple invitation. I think that would be very good to attract young people who maybe might get turned off by like, things be like,
Yeah.
which I love, but I know that's, for a lot of people, their brain shuts off, and they're just like, oh, that's nice.
Don't take that actually into the bar.
Yeah, I know, that's one I just.
bar, whiskey can actually
Yeah, right.
I
think the aspect of trying to go to younger people, because at Harvard, it's 15 and older is the average.
Trying to reach out to the young people. All right, so again, I love the way you're thinking. Thinking of goals, thinking of big things to do. I kind of inspired by it is that you want to like this. Obviously, you can't do it on your own. You need a team, right? So, I encourage you to think about who the 2 or 3 people you get back, next week. We'll soon thereafter, we're going to sit down and say, hey, let's have that transformational leadership conversation about the community and then keep in mind, you can do this. You can be amazing. My angel told us, you don't know how amazing you can be if you don't try. Ellen Roosevelt tells us we can face our fears. I love this quote from Tom Peters. It's like, look, you try things. Maybe you have a big goal, you try a few ways that you've never before, try something else. You just keep repeating it. When you get these slides, you'll see there's a YouTube video link on PowerPoint, so you can learn more about goal setting. What are the most important things you've learned today? Just chat with some people sitting next to you. Share with each other what you think the most important things you've learned in today's session.
Can I share something? I told my people to go to college and talk about these things. It's an unknown quote. Difference between an empty role and a plan.
There you go. That's a good one. All right, what are the most important things you've learned today? Share with each other in your little groups there today. Meeting new people, all right.
It's like in a market. Yeah, there's a kind of way you got that. I've done repair.
I think most of my problems is that you don't have, you don't have for yourself people. You don't hear critics.
What are some of the things you've learned? Let's just share with a larger group. What are some things you learned today?
We were just talking about how dreaming big, if you prepare for the outcome you expect, you're kind of limiting yourself. And I was saying, I used this an example. I was in the Senate for 5 years, and when you're crafting legislation, you want to, you think in terms of like a Affordable Care Act. You want to dream big, think expansive, because it's going to be whittled down in committee. It's going to be whittled down by amendments. Competing forces are going to, force you to compromise on every aspect of the bill. So if you crafted a bill that you expected to, be put on the floor for a vote, that just naturally, that's so you want to think, what you said earlier about dreaming big, and go towards that.
Maybe you could all the way there, but you did a good portion.
You'll bring here, you're only going to make your years, and years, way above where it's It's the old school barter.
Right.
You're still from the shaking the line, and still come out.
I would say this, and again, I know we're at our time, but I have been playing around setting really big goals for many years, and it just amazes me how many times I or teams I've worked with have accomplished so much more than we never thought was possible. And so we have a lot of potential exciting challenges. I just wish you all the very best. Thank you for all the important things you do in your communities. I love being very here, the things that you're doing, and very best of luck to you. Take care. Look at my slides. If you have any questions, happy to talk with you. Thank you, actually.